Intro to the pod, take one.
Welcome, HTWOW listener. Thank you for choosing the August 2018 episode of High Tea with Old Waver. We'll get to the sweet jams and the reminiscences of a year of HTWOW and the uncorking of our HTWOW beer in just a few. But first of all, wanted to invite you to go to oldwaver.com. If you're new to the podcast or if you've not listened to every episode to date, that's the perfect place to get caught up. Oldwaver.com, click on podcasts at the top, and you can peruse the entire catalog, all 14 episodes now of the amazing podcast starring Toby Pipes. Hey, Toby.
Thank you.
And also want to let you know that there is a new way for you to get a hold of us. Obviously, you know that you can hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Old Waver. He's at Toby Pipes. But you can also now email us. We have a show email. The show email is htwowpod@gmail.com.
That's fancy.
That's pretty easy, right?
It's pretty fancy.
htwowpod@gmail.com.
Capitals?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Just do whatever you feel like.
Sure.
But yes, if you want to email us, show ideas, compliments, hate mail, if you want us to come DJ your party, if you have suggestions about how we can make this podcast more listenable, or if you want us to just quit while we're ahead and never do this again. The address again is htwowpod@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoy this year anniversary episode.
Yep.
Now.
You say both weird.
I know. People called me out on that when I filled in on the ticket that I say both with an L.
You do. It's like a Canadian thing.
Yeah, I'm real sorry about it.
Right.
I brought you some cupcakes one time, remember?
From Magnolia?
Yes.
Were Chip and JoJo there?
Yes. No, they weren't there.
Remember we talked about
Yeah, I wonder about your memory sometimes.
I know, but I remembered after you said it.
So yes, we are drinking malt liquor.
At the same time. Ding dong, ding dong.
When I'm with you, baby, I go out of my head, and I just can't get enough, and I just can't get enough. All the things you do to me and everything you said, I just can't get enough, I just can't get enough. We slip and slide and we fall in love, and I just can't seem to get enough. We walk together, we're walking down the street, and I just can't get enough, and I just can't get enough. Every time I think of you, I know we have to meet, and I just can't get enough, and I just can't get enough. It's getting harder, it's a burning love, and I just can't seem to get enough.
I can't get enough of HTWOW. I don't know about you. Welcome, everyone. It is episode number 14 of HTWOW. That stands for High Tea with Old Waver. It's the August 2018 episode. I am Dave Lane, also known as Old Waver. With me is Toby Pipes, also known as High Tea. And we thank you for joining us for another odyssey of new and old music and beer and conversation. If you are just joining us, this is a song swap and a beer swap. We each bring 3 songs and we each bring a beer. I always get to go first. And we are kicking off today with I can't remember if I've done a Martin House before. I think I have. But Martin House out of Fort Worth. I saw this today at the beer store, and it called out to me.
So you've never been to the Martin House?
No, I've never been to the Martin House. But I got a 4-pack because this bad boy is 8.7. I got a 4-pack of Magnolia malt liquor. Craft malt liquor.
Do you think it has anything to do with the Magnolia Motor Lounge?
I mean, I guess it has to do with Fort Worth because you can see there's a panther on the front for like Panther Island.
Okay.
And there's like the Fort Worth skyline there.
Why is Panther Island called Panther Island?
I have no idea. I'm not a Fort Worth guy. But I do know that Martin House is a proud Fort Worth institution. And I thought to myself, I've never seen a craft malt liquor before. Mm-hmm. And people always say our podcasts are better when I bring really strong beers and we get really lit.
Is it a strong one?
Yeah, I just said it's 8.7.
I didn't hear you. I'm doing a lot of stuff over here getting us started, Dave.
Yeah. You're multitasking. I understand.
I have a lot of things going on.
Yes, so when was the last time you actually drank a malt liquor?
I don't know. Isn't there's what's the old malt liquor beer that used to like late 70s, early 80s? Is it Schlitz?
Yeah, the Schlitz malt liquor bowl.
Yeah.
That was the Lando Calrissian Billy D. Williams beer.
Is that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think so.
No, his was what was his? I don't think his was Schlitz.
Oh, Colt 45.
Colt 45, that's right.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know when the last time I've had a malt liquor, but I do know at a
Hold on.
Oh wait.
Colt 45. Rule number 2, never forget.
Let me pull this down.
Rule 1. You want to know why you should keep plenty of Colt 45 on hand? You never know when friends might show up. I don't claim you can have a better time with Colt 45 than without it. But why take chances? The power of Colt 45.
Man, run that again. Listen to, is he slurring a little bit?
He's just so cool that he can't even talk without slurring.
We have some friends come over.
Rule number 1, never run out of Colt 45. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. You want to know why you should keep plenty of Colt 45 on hand? You never know when friends might show up.
He's
I don't
drunk.
claim you can have a better time with Colt 45 than without it. But why take chances?
He is so lit. Yeah, he's there with a hot honey on his couch.
Man, I love that Rhodes piano in the background.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like that commercial could go right into the wine one with the director guy.
God, I have no idea. You talking about Orson Welles?
Yeah. What's that one?
We'll sell no wine before it's time.
Yeah, but there's the drunk outtakes of him going, what does he do? Okay, hold on, let me pull this down.
Just do anything? No, sorry, cut. Yeah, rolling. 102, take 2.
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
102, take 3. Action, please.
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
Isn't that awesome?
He's such a heavy breather. He's so fat at that point.
Yeah, and you would think if he's a director, he should really be better at this. I'd like to see those two drink together.
Well, I don't think that's possible since Orson's gone.
Yeah, poor Orson. You know, what's his name's going to be in the new Star Wars?
Billy D? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did hear that. So I think, I remember in Denton, pretty much everybody went through a Mickey's phase.
I went through a Mickey's phase at Sam Houston. That was one of Todd's favorite beers. The Big Green Mouth, right?
Right, yeah, the squatty bottle with the big green mouth.
Mm-hmm. We also, Little King's was a malt liquor. Did you ever drink Little King's?
No, but Old English.
It had a cream
Old
ale.
English 1800 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That was another one that was in the rotation. This is a little smoother than what I remember.
Yeah, Mickey's was terrible. Right? I remember
I'm sure it is. I can't even tell you the last time I had one.
A few headaches from Mickey's.
But, you know, when you're drinking on a budget, it's Boone's Farm or malt liquor.
Right. Or Schlitz. What I was going to say is I don't remember the last time I've had malt liquor, but I remember the first time, and it was at a track meet in Austin. And some of the members of the track team had Schlitz. And it tasted...
For like post-meet celebrations?
No, I don't even think... I think it was one of those things, we were really young and the coach wanted to take us to the Austin relays. So we weren't even in it. So we could... You know, we weren't worried about running or anything. But it tastes terrible. When's the last time you had a Schlitz?
I can't tell you.
It's awful.
But thumbs up to the Martin House.
Yeah, this is good.
Magnolia malt liquor. You don't know it's malt liquor.
Does it say it on there?
No, that's my phrase for it.
I need to take my sweet koozie off
You
so
never
I can get a
know.
good look at this.
Always have some Magnolia malt liquor on hand because you never know when somebody might stop by.
What's that accent?
It's my drunk malt liquor guy.
Oh, okay.
I can't do a fake Billy D. Williams.
I want to know if what the Panther connection with Fort Worth is.
Well, maybe I'll Google it and I'll tell you.
Yeah. Google it up in the break.
Fort Worth Panther thing.
Oh, you're going to do it now.
Why not?
Okay. When you typed in Panther Fort Worth, did it like right away knew what you were talking about?
Well, NBC5 has a story that says it began as an insult from a Dallasite. In 1875, Fort Worth was having economic problems, and it was a quiet, sleepy town. And a Dallas attorney who once lived in Fort Worth made the comment that Fort Worth was such a sleepy city that he saw a panther asleep in the middle of a downtown street. And so they then adopted it as a symbol of hope and strength to turn it around on that.
They turned it around
asshole.
on him. What year was this?
1875.
Okay, I was about to say, that sounds like an 1875 insult.
Right.
I was going to do a 1875 accent, but I don't have one.
Pretty lame origin story, but yes, it is Panther City.
Panther City because of a Dallas lawyer.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yet
Dallas.
again, they live in the shadow of Dallas.
Wow.
Speaking
Still,
of shadow.
I like this beer, though, and I don't like malt liquor, but this is going to be a strong one, isn't it?
Yep. Well, let's see how slurry we get after two of these.
I want to get Colt 45 slurry.
I was trying to do a transition, but then you cut me off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I said, speaking of shadow.
You're already got a little something right there. I could hear it.
Speaking of shadow. That brings me to my first band. My first band's name is ShadowParty. You heard of ShadowParty?
You really tied that together.
I know. It'd be better if it was Panther Party, but
ShadowParty.
yeah, it's ShadowParty.
That's another one I'm surprised that name hasn't been taken.
Yeah. And I don't really want to tell too much about it. I think there's plenty of discussion that we can have after the fact. Mm-hmm. But I talked to you as we were setting up the equipment and loading in songs for the podcast.
Yes.
And I couldn't decide between two songs off of this ShadowParty record. And I said that one kind of sounds like Heaven 17, which you played Heaven 17 on last month's pod.
Yeah, the theme.
And the other one kind of sounds like electronic.
Okay.
And it's super gay.
See, I thought you were saying you had two different bands you were picking between.
No,
I didn't know
no.
It's the same band.
Same band, two different songs, two different vibes. And I said that I was leaning against the one that sounds like electronic. Speaking of the Johnny Marr, Bernard Sumner supergroup, I was leaning against that one because I thought maybe it was too gay. And then you told me about your theme for this episode. Do you want to clue people into that? Or do you want to save that?
Yeah, I don't think anything is a surprise when we do the theme thing.
Okay. So who is the subject? And I guess people might be tipped off by the opening song.
Yeah, that's
But who is the subject of your theme this month?
It's Vince Clarke. Do you remember the Just Can't Get Enough video?
I don't. And you know, I barely remember that version of Just Can't Get Enough because I'm so accustomed to hearing the single version, the Catching Up with Depeche Mode version.
Right. Oh, does that start right off with the ding?
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding? Okay.
Yeah. And it's I think it's cranked up a couple BPM from that one.
Yeah, that's got a great the intro of just that sweet drum machine. But in the video, you know, Vince Clarke always in the early Depeche Mode pictures and videos, he looks like the mean guy. Did you not ever notice that he looks kind of like the bad guy in like a Lethal Weapon movie?
Yeah, he does have kind of that steely cheekbone thing and the high and tight haircut.
Yeah, and the leather coat, and he just didn't look as friendly as the other Depeche Mode guys. But then, you know, anytime you see an interview with him, he still looks mean.
Right.
But he's a nice guy.
And he was only on Speak and Spell, right?
Yeah, he left because things started moving too quickly.
Okay, so we'll
get into all
we'll
that
table
later.
this. We'll talk more Vince Clarke later, but just to let you know that tipped the scales. And this band,
Well, are they new?
yeah,
Okay.
ShadowParty is a new band, but they have a very interesting pedigree. They are a super group of sorts. And I will get into all that after we play the tune. But the first tune on the August episode of HTWOW is from ShadowParty's debut record, and it's called Present Tense. ShadowParty, bro.
That's good. Is it the... How many... Why were you calling it a supergroup?
Because there are members from 4 very important groups.
Like older groups or groups that are important right now?
Older groups.
Oh. The guys...
But it's kind of a trick question or a trick clue because they are latter-day additions to important groups.
That's weird. The guy's voice sounded really familiar when he came in. Who's that?
Well, I don't know how they split up the singing duties, so I can't tell you definitively.
Oh, well, who's in it?
Okay, so ShadowParty is comprised of Devo members, New Order members, as well as guests from the Verve's guitarist Nick McCabe and vocalist Denise Johnson.
Yeah, who is she?
From Primal Scream.
Okay. Golly.
And so, the Devo half of ShadowParty is guitarist, keyboardist Josh Hager. Mm-hmm. And then former Devo drummer former Devo drummer Jeff Friedel.
If he's in Devo, he might be Joff.
Yeah, so Jeff Friedel was in Devo from 08 to 14.
Oh, so he was... Okay.
Josh Hager is currently in Devo. He joined, I guess, in 14.
So he replaced...
the dude who passed away?
Yeah. Wasn't he the guitar player guy?
I think so.
I don't know. It doesn't... It's all right.
And then the New Order half are Tom Chapman and Phil Cunningham. So Tom Chapman is the fake Peter Hook.
Uh-huh.
And then Phil Cunningham is the second guitar player.
Oh, so these are all just kind of, except for the Primal Scream Girl, they're just kind of extra dudes.
Yeah, they're the young kids from Devo and New Order.
Well, it's cool.
Yeah, so what had happened was...
What had happened
was that Tom Chapman had to move to Boston. So he, was living in the UK, and he had to move to Boston. I think he married an American chick or something. And so he moved to Boston, and he was feeling really out of sorts, like he didn't have anybody to play with, and, he wanted some kind of musical connection. Mm-hmm. And somebody told him that he needed to get in touch with Josh Hager, because I guess he lives in Boston as well.
And he had no friends as well.
Well, I guess Josh Hager had friends, but anyway, so Tom Chapman reached out, got in touch with Josh Hager, and then he said he had to be brave and knock on his door. And so he met him. First time they'd ever met, he went over to Josh's house, and they kind of jammed for a little bit, wrote some stuff, and then they were like, "Yeah, we should do this again." And then next thing you know, they put together a band, and they put together a record, and
called it ShadowParty.
They called it ShadowParty, and they just put out their first record last month.
Are they on a label?
They're on Mute.
You're kidding me.
No.
So they just met up and they get to be on Mute.
Yeah, well,
because they play in New Order and Devo.
Yeah, when you are coattailing off of New Order and Devo, you can get signed to Mute for your first record. But you liked it, right? And you get to
call up the Primal Scream Girl and...
Yeah. She's only on a handful of songs, but yeah, you can just call up the Primal Scream Girl and have her sing lead.
How do you come across the ShadowParty?
I saw stuff about it, and then every Friday, used to new music would come out on Mondays, right? Or was it Tuesdays?
New Music Monday?
Yeah, I think it was New Music Monday. But now new stuff comes out on Friday. And so I always check my Apple Music.
Is that even still a thing? Like there's an actual day?
Yeah, new releases come out on Friday. And so I saw it pop up last month, and I downloaded it, and I liked it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to play it on the pod.
Did you like it?
So yeah, I'll definitely play you the other tune, the runner-up tune that I almost played.
In the late night sessions?
Yeah, in the late night sessions.
Which, by the way, if you would like to get a copy of one of the episodes of the late night sessions, it's on the dark dark web.
Right. Like you probably have to donate a kidney in order to hear the late night.
At least a kidney.
But yeah, ShadowParty's pretty good, I think.
It is good. I love that you know new stuff, Dave.
Well, you know.
You're just...
I
know,
like to stay plugged in.
You do, and I don't know how you do it, but you do it.
There's a lot more stuff nowadays than there used to be.
And I'm just going to play old stuff.
Well, that's what you're here for. That's what everybody expects from you.
Should we, we're drinking your beer. Should we get into the super exciting that our beer is done? Or should we wait till after the next song before we...
Let's get into that after the next song, because I want you to kind of give us the 30-second backstory on Vince Clarke and how he came to be in Depeche Mode and came to leave Depeche Mode.
Well, you know, they're all... how do you say that? Is it Basildon?
Oh, where they're
Essex?
from?
Yeah, they're basically from Essex, but I think it's all around this town called Basildon. And I don't think that they live too far from each other at all, but all these massive groups popped out of these, like, of sort of like the suburbs.
Did they all go to art school?
It seems like it didn't mention art school thing, but I think here's you know why you're always like, I wonder what Andy Fletcher's deal is. But I think he knew Vince Clarke first and introduced Vince Clarke to Martin Gore. And
then he got to be in the band forever?
Yeah, like I think he's the friend guy that kind of knows everybody.
He's the glue.
Yeah, and they were in a band. I forget what the name of it is now. It was something weird, French something. But then they saw David Gahan singing some David Bowie song like Heroes or something somewhere. And so they found their singer. And then Depeche Mode started.
Right, and on that first record, he and Martin Gore kind of split the songwriting duty. Is that correct?
I
or
think
is it
that
all Vince
Clarke was the main guy.
Okay.
I think everybody else kind of did what Vince said. And Martin Gore wrote, we were talking about this earlier, I think it's Tora, 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 which is a great song. And a song called Big Muff, which I think is just an instrumental.
Yeah.
Which makes sense that, that's what Martin Gore would do. But he only lasted one record. He started the whole thing and then moved on, which Vince Clarke over the years keeps moving on. And then at the very end, Martin Gore and Vince made a record together. Did you listen to that?
Yeah, the VCMG thing?
It's not bad.
No, I mean, it's all instrumental.
Yeah.
I was hoping for more pop, and it was a little bit more avant-garde.
Yeah. And we've always said it would be cool, and I still think that this might happen someday, that the four original guys, who are all still alive and still doing big things, sure would be cool if the four original Depeche Mode.
Was Alan Wilder in the beginning, or he came on after Vince Clarke?
Yeah, Alan Wilder came on right after Vince Clarke. And a lot of people think that's the best lineup, right?
The Alan Wilder version?
The Alan Wilder one.
Yeah, and Alan Wilder left like Songs of Faith and Devotion, right?
Yeah. Let's play a very early Depeche Mode song. The live version of this song is on a 12-inch that I can't remember. I'll go look it up while we're playing this. But I think Tora 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 was on it. Photographic, and one other one was the B-side of one of the Depeche Mode 12 inches.
Maybe See You?
You think that was
Or
it?
New Life, one of the two?
It might have been New Life. But I love the live version. But here is the Speak and Spell version. And it's called Photographic.
On HTWOW. What does that go into?
Here, let's let it play. Oh, this is Tora Tora Tora. Should we let it play for a second? Don't. Alright. It's great, right? I love that.
I mean, we should just stop talking and just play the rest of Speak and Spell.
I know, it sure would be better if that's what we did. Do you love the Photographic?
That's a great tune.
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah, that's an underrated Depeche Mode tune.
Yeah, and the live version's on Lovin' Itself, the 12-inch, you said? We were looking at it.
Yeah, I think so. As best I can tell, anyway.
Yeah, and I think I remember that one. Man, that one lasts forever. And that's a great one.
I do have... I have a bootleg at home. Mm-hmm. I wish I knew you were doing this, because I would have brought it. We could have played it on the late night.
I think I have it.
The 1984 Hamburg concert, the live bootleg.
Oh, you have the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
I have like
the,
a vinyl repressing of it.
I have the 12-inch of that, but I don't have the whole thing. And I think that didn't they film that?
Yeah, it was like a concert film.
Yeah, so good.
So you said that the reason for Vince's departure was that Depeche Mode got too big too fast.
Yeah, things got too popular for him.
Like he just wanted to make indie keyboard music. He didn't want to be a pop star.
I guess so. You know, these are all just things that are
because they
written.
ended up on like Top of the Pops and they blew up.
Yeah,
right away.
Quickly. And they had the cool thing of like all their early like if they're in Germany playing somewhere, they would close up in on the tape machine that had the drums on it, which I think is cool. They focus in on the drum machine and then zoom out, and then you see the band playing. And a lot of times on the early concerts of them playing in clubs, they didn't have their keyboard stands, so they'd be like on milk crates or whatever.
A little low budget?
Yeah, it was definitely low budget, but Vince had the good keyboards, and he knew how to program them and stuff. So
was it just like he felt like he didn't want to write pop songs, or he just didn't want to be in the public eye?
I think he was just young and was like, this is moving too fast. It's weird.
It is weird, especially since, and we'll get into this later, that he has such a Midas touch. Like everything that he does blows up and gets huge.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few fails. Did you know about a band called The Assembly?
No.
Yeah, it didn't go over. And then this is before he found Andy Bell, I think.
Oh, so it was after Alison Moyet?
Yeah, I think it was after Yaz. So that, but we'll get to Yaz next.
Okay.
But what do you want to talk about? I mean, we're already drinking your brew.
Yes,
your 16-point beer, malt
well,
liquor.
now two of them it is 16%.
I feel like
this second Magnolia malt liquor just came out of the freezer, and it's almost slushy consistency. But coming up after this beer and after my next song, we are going to have the maiden voyage, the first tasting.
Did you save that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You didn't just think of that right there.
No, I actually didn't mean to. But yes, it is the maiden voyage of the Yacht Rock Saison.
That's why you're a professional.
From HTWOW Brewing.
I don't deserve to be on this with you.
It's true. Yes. So if you've been following the podcast for the last 2 months, after the June podcast, we brewed a beer, a Saison. And we were going to maybe have it last month, but it wasn't quite ready. But now it's ready, right?
And one of our readers made a label.
Yes. We need to thank Talito.
Talito?
A good HTWOW listener who took it upon himself to create the Yacht Rock Saison label.
From Waco, Austin.
I don't know. At Tell Stevens on the Twitter. Yeah.
That's
so,
good.
yeah. Congratulate him on his fine work, and then you can follow me at Old Waver, and you can follow Toby at Toby Pipes.
It does look good on the bottle. It's a blue Grolsch bottle, so it looks good on there.
Yeah, and so we kind of faked it for the picture, but if you go to oldwaver.com or if you go to SoundCloud and you look at the link, you can see the picture.
Well, we have to see if it's a complete failure before we get a printer for our...
Yeah, I mean, we're
Years.
we're not going to start mass producing this just yet, but
You don't know.
We are going to taste it coming up in just a minute.
I mean, we did make the Saison just because it was the only kit that I had.
No, you had a couple other things, and we chose the Saison.
What else did I have?
I don't know. A malt,
I mean, we
a
have
malt
to
liquor.
start. We have to start the new one, so it'll be ready by Christmas. Jesus, takes forever.
Yeah, our production timeline is a bit extended.
I know. We should have.
We're not going to make very much money.
After I bottled, we should have really started the new one right then. But what can we do?
Yeah,
You're so busy.
Right.
You did go on a vacation.
I
How'd
know.
it go?
Yeah. We need to talk about that. Do you want to talk about that?
You want to play another song?
Yeah, I want to play another song. Next, we'll talk about our beer, and then later we can talk about our summer vacations because the kids just went back to school, and we both had kind of a last ditch effort to save summer.
A last hurrah.
Yes. But the next song I'm going to play, golly.
Hey, you're the one that brought this stuff.
Golly, Martin House.
Man. I totally get why Colt 45 was doing this to us.
Right. Now the Billy D slurring totally makes sense.
Totally makes sense. He was just in the room.
No, the
Crikey. Is all malt liquor this strong? Is it pretty strong?
Yeah.
I know Mickey's was. Mickey's
Yeah.
is strong.
Well, that's the reason why it's targeted at urban youth and poor college students, because it's strong and it'll get you fucked up for cheap.
Urban youth and college students.
People with no money that like to get fucked up. You're the one that said that you have to smoke Cools when you drink
Hey,
malt
I
liquor.
like Cools. I don't even know why that means
You're the
anything.
racist. All right. So the next song that I want to play is from a band called Wild Nothing. And I think I maybe have played some of this for you
I know the Wild Nothings.
at some point.
I do like the Wild Nothings. Is this brand new?
This is brand new. But this is their fourth full-length record. They have a couple of EPs in there. But the fourth record is entitled Indigo, and it comes out on the 31st of August. So hopefully this podcast will come out before Indigo comes out. You never know.
When does it come out?
August 31st, the last day of the month.
Yeah, it'll come out. It'll come out before that.
Yeah. Usually we publish our podcast with 2 days left in the month.
But that's okay.
Yeah, we get it in under the wire.
Yeah.
But so Wild Nothing is a dude basically from West Virginia.
You're kidding.
No, I am not kidding.
I thought that they were, man.
His name is Jack Tatum, and he started Wild Nothing in his dorm room at West Virginia. He went to University of West Virginia.
What's their mascot?
They're the Mountaineers in Blacksburg.
Have you been there?
Or wait, no, Blacksburg is that's Virginia Tech. Sorry, not West Virginia. Virginia Tech.
Sports.
Sorry. So Jack Tatum went to Virginia Tech and he started Wild Nothing in his dorm room, and so the first record that he did.
A lot of good things start in dorm rooms.
It's true.
For people starting school this year, which is what's happening. Start recording in your dorm room. I think
Sure.
Didn't the Beastie Boys start in what's his name's dorm room? The producer guy?
Oh gosh, yeah. What's his name?
Long hair, beard guy.
Rick Rubin.
Yeah. Didn't it start in an NYU dorm room? The
I
whole
w-
record label, everything.
I would look it up, but I'm tired of looking
I think
things
we're
up.
okay. We're fine.
So the first record, Gemini, was totally self-recorded in his dorm room. He's put out two since then, Nocturne and Life of Pause, both great. And the new one, Indigo, is an even, I guess, further departure for him. He keeps on adding layers and textures to his sound as he's maturing as an artist and also getting more comfortable in the studio. And
Did he graduate college?
I don't know if he did, but he's doing music full time. He has a full time band. I think he still does most everything in the studio, but he does have a full touring band. They're one of those bands that I've not seen yet that I really want to see.
I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, they're on my list of bands that I really want to see that I have not yet. But the reason that I wanted to play this next song is that it has a very yacht rocky feel.
Oh, we're about to get into that.
Yeah, and so I thought it would be a great way for us to kind of leave the port and sail onto that maiden voyage of the Yacht Rock Saison.
You might be pushing it now.
Yeah, I'm bending over backwards. But yes, so this is the brand new Wild Nothing. It is called Partners in Motion on High Tea with Old Waver. Hashtag HTWOW.
Very cool.
How's that strike you?
I like that. Like
Little
I was
yacht
saying-
rocky, right?
Yeah, like I
Especially
was
the
saying,
sax solo at the end.
He's kind of the American Tame Impala.
Yeah, he's got definitely some psychedelic textures in there.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like what he's done there.
Wild Nothing is one of my I don't know, my clicks to pick, my pet bands
Is that
of the last
Is that the name
10
of
years.
your vlog?
No.
Dave Lane's Clicks to Pick.
No. Yeah, so Gemini came out in 2010. So yeah, he's been going for about 8 years now. And I've loved him from the get-go.
So what do you do if you're this guy's dorm, if you're his roommate and you come home every day and you're just like, sweet man, you're just doing tunes all day and they sound awesome.
Well, I mean, maybe his roommate wasn't into his kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah, like,
this
of course-
crap's going
Of
nowhere.
course his roommate's like really into,
Right. Florida Georgia line.
yeah, and it's like, dude, this music, no one's gonna like this. And it's just beating him down all day. But hey,
That's like my college roommate. If he wanted me to leave, all he had to do was put on 10,000 Maniacs.
is this your first year of college?
Yeah, my freshman year.
Were you in Kerr Hall
I was in Kerr Hall, yes.
at North Texas?
I mean, it was a good friend of mine, the other Craig.
The other Craig?
But yeah, he knew that if he ever wanted me to leave, that he just needed to put on anything with Natalie Merchant.
Why did he want you to leave?
If he just wanted some alone time, if he was tired of Dave. It happens. People get tired of Dave.
He needed some Craig time?
Yeah. So Natalie Merchant was my kryptonite. Still is.
Sort of gross. What you're talking about.
Yeah. So that's the Wild Nothing story I wanted to tell you.
Well, I think it's cool.
Does it get you ready to drink some yacht rock?
It does.
By the way, so I guess we can crack the saisons after your next tune. And so before you start setting up the transition from Depeche Mode to Yaz, or Yazoo, as it were.
What is the deal with that? Do you know the backstory of the Yazoo thing?
It's Yazoo in the UK and Europe, and it's Yaz in the US, and I don't know why.
Because surely there wasn't a Yazoo in America.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'll look that up.
Man, you're just looking stuff
I'm
up.
looking lots of stuff up.
Did you get the thing in your feed about our anniversary?
All right. HTWOW's anniversary?
This is it.
Yes, this is the 1 year.
This is the 1 year anniversary. I can't believe you didn't say it at the top. I'm not hurt.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
not like
I know.
It's not
I
like I'm
can't
hurt.
remember everything. You can't expect me to do everything.
It's not like I'm really hurt. I'm just a little hurt.
But
that you
yes,
didn't remember.
if you have been with us for the entire calendar year,
We were such babies.
yes, we began in August of 2017, and here we are, 13 podcasts later,
Wow.
with
Do you
the
remember-
one bonus one mixed in there.
Do you remember the old studio room?
I know, it was right across the hall.
5 feet that way.
Yeah, before your master bathroom flooded
Yeah.
and pushed us into this room.
Now we're in this room, and it's all fixed now, and we're too lazy to move it back.
That's okay. This one's fine.
It's totally fine.
But yes, thank you if you are an HTWOW P1 Day 1, if you've been with us since last August.
Full year!
God bless you.
What do you get for a year? Is that like a cardboard?
That's
thing?
paper.
Is it just paper?
Yeah, so I brought the color printer labels for our HTWOW beer.
And we're about to do that. We have to video it so people
Yeah.
can see the gold.
Yeah, we will have to video that. So we'll do that next, after this next song. But why don't you set up the Yaz thing? So how did Vince
Is it
Clarke...
Yaz next, or is it you?
No, it's you. I just did Wild Nothing. Now it's you. We're having malt liquor brain. But yes, it's
No,
your
you're
turn.
totally right.
And so how did Vince Clarke... How long between his departure after Speak and Spell did it take for him to
find Alison
find
Moyet.
Alison Moyet and create Yaz.
You know, I don't know the whole story behind that, but I know that, I mean, it wasn't long. I mean, he moves. It goes quick. I don't know how he writes all these songs, but
And You and Me Both was the first one, right?
I think so. You want me to look real quick? I mean, Upstairs. I'm gonna play a song off of Upstairs at Eric's, which is it's the Yazoo,
Right.
Wouldn't
yes.
you say?
Yes.
And I was gonna play Mr. Blue off of You and Me Both.
Oh,
Also-
no. Upstairs at Eric's was first.
Yeah,
Upstairs at Eric's was 82, and You and Me Both was 83.
Yeah, and then I think he called it after that.
Yeah, just 2 records.
Kind of turns out she wrote half the songs on You and Me Both. I think that's around the time where Vince kind of goes, you know what, I'm done.
You know what? You can write
You know
half
what?
the
That's
songs
good.
because I don't
That's
care.
Good. You're writing songs now. That's great.
I'm already 1 foot out the door.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna play Mr. Blue. I love that song, but it's a little slow. But it doesn't make sense what I'm gonna play now.
Yeah, so Wiki says the duo split acrimoniously in May 1983 due to a combination of Clarke's reluctance to make more records under the Yazoo name, a clash of personalities, and a lack of communication between the pair.
Yeah, which means she started writing some stuff and he wasn't into it. Don't you think that's what that?
Probably, yes.
Probably. But Mr.
Oh, okay.
Blue was
And
great.
and Yaz or Yazoo was known as Yaz in North America for legal reasons involving Yazoo Records. There was a record label called Yazoo,
Okay.
and
But that record is good, and we
I'm
realized.
trying to. Oh, Blind Lemon Jefferson was on Yazoo Records. Evidently, it was a kind of a legacy.
I see.
Kind of a legacy label from way back in the day.
All right, that makes
I
sense.
guess. Founded in the mid '60s, specializing in American blues.
Still a good record though, and we remembered when we were looking through these that you got me this record when you were in the UK.
Oh yeah, the You and Me Both. Because I think you have 2
I had
copies.
2 versions.
You have 2 copies of that one. But
I
yes,
think I gave you the other one I had.
yeah, maybe so. But yeah, like 10 years ago when I went to the UK and I went record shopping, I don't know why, but I saw this one, You and Me Both, with Yazoo, UK pressing.
You
And
say both weird.
I know. People called me out on that when I filled in on the ticket that I say both with an L.
You do. It's like a Canadian thing.
Yeah, I'm real sorry about it, but yeah, I saw it in a record store in Edinburgh, and I think I bought that and maybe a Cocteau Twins record, and I don't know why I bought you stuff.
Well, man, I gotta tell you that the You and Me Both record. I put it on a second ago. It has never been on a player before,
Right, because the
couldn't
hole was
fit on
super tight.
Yeah, it's super tight.
You got to work it in there.
But it is a good record. I don't mean to say that it isn't good. It's great. But
No,
we
but-
also
but
went
the-
through
but the
Do you
hits.
play the hits off of Upstairs at Eric's? There's that cool half body mannequin dudes playing cards on the cover.
Right.
Everyone knows that. If you're into synth music in the 80s, you know the Upstairs at Eric's cover. Everyone knows it.
Right. And I don't know if people are listening to this pod from all different backgrounds, and so maybe they are Yaz super fans, and anything that we play, they're, oh yeah, I know that, whatever, bro.
Well, that was the other thing. We were going to play the hits. That's what I was going to do. I was going to play either Don't Go, Situation, or Marissa's favorite song, Only You, which is a lot of people's favorite song.
Right,
Probably the biggest one off of it.
And Only You has had a resurgence because it's been on like some TV shows lately, I think.
Right.
But Situation is by far the jam of that record. But you decided to...
A lot of dance club versions of that went on forever.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely plenty of 10-minute versions of Situation.
Love the echo on the keyboard thing that...
But you decided to go for a deep cut, or a deep-ish cut.
It doesn't last long, so if you hate it, don't worry about it. It's called In My Room, Yaz or Yazoo, off of their best record, Upstairs at Eric's. Are you going to tag it with one of your...
Right now on HT. Wow, 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 wow.
think I is it?
I think I see a spot.
Distorting.
Our Father,
I can't really see it.
I can't quite make
Maybe
that
I
hear
can't
me.
see it.
Can't really see.
who art in heaven,
I'm sure there's something.
I can't quite make that hear me.
The lights very low, you hear me?
hallowed be thy name.
The lights very
I can't quite make that hear me.
I stand alone and watch the clock.
low.
I only wait for it to stop.
What are you?
And in the room, locked up inside me,
Thy kingdom come,
the cut-out magazines remind me. I sit and wait alone
thy will be done.
in my room.
I can't quite make that hear me.
And in my room, against the wall, there is a picture, very small,
On earth as it is in heaven,
a photograph I took some years ago. It shows a picture of the room I know. I sit and wait alone in my room.
on earth as it is in heaven.
The walls are white, and in the night, the room is lit by electric lights.
It's difficult to be his.
She won't hug in the mic.
Can't go on when you
I
hear
can't
me.
quite make that hear me.
Who do you think I is it? I think it's distorting.
What do you think I is it?
I can't quite make that hear me.
On earth as it is in heaven,
I stand alone and watch the clock.
and lead us not into temptation,
I only wait for it to stop.
I can't quite make that hear me.
The doors are shut and all the windows locked.
I can't quite make
The
that hear me.
only sound is from the clock. I sit and wait alone
Hear me.
in my room.
thou deliver us from evil.
I can't quite make that
The
hear me.
walls are white, and in the night, the room is lit by electric lights.
Thou deliver us from evil.
I think it's
I
distorting.
can't quite make that hear me.
What do you think I is it?
Thou deliver us from evil.
I can't quite make that hear me.
Thou deliver us from evil.
I can't quite make that hear me.
Thou deliver us from evil. 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 Thou deliver us from evil.
It is.
Thou deliver us from evil.
Can't go on when you hear me.
Thou deliver us from evil.
Think I is it? I think it's distorting.
Thou deliver us from evil.
I think I see a spot.
That was it. You know, there was a lot of
I'm sure your parents love that.
oh man, there were. I was about to say there were many times that my folks were probably listening outside of the room, going, "What is happening in there?" But there was a lot of less than zero moments with sheets hanging by windows with your friends sitting in some weird apartment while that song, because it's the end of side one.
Right.
And that's just, then it's just skipping on the end of the record because people forget to turn the record over. In My Room was a big one. Did you ever, when did you come across Upstairs at Eric's?
Oh gosh. I mean, much later. After I was introduced to Depeche Mode and then went back and found it.
Okay.
And of course knew all of the situation and Don't Go from
Just clubs.
the
and stuff,
12
yeah.
inches and stuff.
Yeah, and Only You and all that. They
Yeah.
were huge.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Does that feel like something you might revisit?
Yeah, I need to, because again, I don't. It's one of those that I don't listen to front to back.
Front to cover. But also, another Depeche Mode thing on this, which seems to be around all of the 80s. If you want your record to be cool, you want Daniel Miller to have something to do with it.
Who is he?
He was on a lot of the early Depeche Mode stuff, and for some reason, this guy is always just in the studio when there's a cool record going on. Daniel Miller's around. Like it says, additional production and noises.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's also what it says. Vocals and piano, Alison Moyer, and all Vince Clarke credited himself for on the record was noises. Which I guess means synthesizers. But yeah.
Or talking.
Or talking. Upstairs at Eric's. I mean, you would what would you upstairs at Eric's top 10 of the 80s? Best records
it's up there. It's especially as far as just seminal essential records.
I mean, that's around the time you got to think Depeche Mode is doing great around this time. And then they're looking at Vince going, Jesus, are we all just basiled in what's in the water?
Most importantly, though, before we played that song, or I guess during that song, we cracked
We did.
the HTWOW beer.
Hey, tell me this didn't turn out good.
It definitely turned out good.
This is amazing. And super frothy.
Mm-hmm.
It's fresh.
Yeah, you...
Was it worth the wait?
It was worth the wait.
Look at that. You can see through it.
Yeah, it's got great color. It had great head when we poured it.
I think I got a hold of it now.
Yeah, I think you are a pro. I think I owe you a debt because you did most of the work on this thing. And if you would like to purchase a bottle of HTWOW Saison...
There's only 3 left, and they're $100 a piece. It took 3 months to make, and that's all we have left. And we'll probably drink those tonight. This is great, right?
We'll at least drink one more each, so there'll be one left.
Oh, do you want me to tell you the alcohol content and all the...
Yeah, you have like the full sheet of all of the specs on this beer. So what's up?
This is a 4.5. It's not bad.
Sure.
I still
not quite sessionable, but still not crazy.
But you know my goal. I want to go less. So 4.5 was a little higher than I wanted alcohol content. I want to go to about 4. But what can you do? You saw when it was, we have videos of the fermentation.
Right.
It was just, but there's nothing we could do. The yeast was going crazy.
It tastes great.
So 4.5, and it's probably about 155 calories a brew.
It's okay. I'll start my diet tomorrow.
I'm guessing your Magnolia Panther malt liquor.
Who knows how many calories were in that thing?
Well, if it's 8, whatever, it's... Well, let's look. I have a can right here. Do you think it says it, or they're hiding it?
Does it say calories on there?
Golly, 8.7. Jesus.
Yeah, we're wasted already.
No, they hid that. Doesn't matter. 8.7, more calories, more, you know how it goes.
Yeah, more fun.
Yeah, so, higher alcohol means more calories. That's the whole deal.
Well, I think that we crushed it, and kudos to you for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Did you just belch? Oh, God.
It's kind of carbonated, isn't it?
I can't stop drinking it.
So we've made this one. This is the Yacht Rock. We need to remember, I still have the box. This is the Saison, Yacht Rock Saison. We can easily remake this. But what would you like to do next?
I don't know. I mean, if it's going to be ready
an
around
American lager.
If it's going to be ready around Christmas,
Well, no,
I don't know.
I exaggerated. We can be ready by October.
Okay, well, maybe an Oktoberfest.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Like I know what
we have plenty of
Oktoberfest-
time to research it and learn.
Okay. So let's that's what we should do. Let's order a fresh kit.
Okay.
And then around Christmas, let's just make a super light American lager. You're looking at me weird.
You are the brains behind this
I
operation.
am not.
I'm just here to hold your hose.
It is good though, isn't it?
It is
totally
good.
worked out.
It's great.
Man, we're probably gonna throw up later because of whatever was in the bottle.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some bacteria that got in there somewhere.
If we do get sick from this, we will put a post up.
Okay.
But it tastes fresh.
Do you want to give me that that cord real fast?
Oh yeah, you have a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hold on, let me make sure it's not gonna make a noise. Are you there?
I'm here. Hello.
All right, we're set up now. Now you have your thing.
Okay. Yeah, so now it's my turn as we segue from
Awesome.
HTWOW beer awesomeness to my guilty pleasure. And, I mean, my first two have been pretty guilty, but this one, it's interesting because it's very, it's a 90s throwback, and it's also very Brit poppy, anthemic,
Wait,
put
when you're
your
saying
phones in the air.
When you're saying it's a 90s throwback, it's from the 90s?
It's a new song by a 90s band.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This is a song entitled Life is Golden by the band Suede. You may know them as the London Suede.
So I did hear that they had a new... This is new.
Yes, they have a new album entitled The Blue Hour that will be out on September 21st. And I guess this is the third single that they've released. It's the first one I've heard.
The third single off their new thing?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, they put a song called The Invisibles out in June. They put a song out in July called Don't Be Afraid If Nobody Loves You.
How's the singer look? He was always...
I don't
pretty-
know. I haven't seen pictures of them currently.
He's a
I haven't
pretty
seen
man.
anything. Yes. But this latest song is entitled Life is Golden. And it's, like I said, super anthemic, maybe borderline cheesy, but
That's I don't mind that from it. Like Suede and Pulp they have a pass,
yeah,
right?
I think so.
Are you on your right volume?
I think so. Yeah. You want to
Remember
roll it?
We went like at 80%.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm good to go.
No, you're good. You
Okay.
play it whenever you want.
All right. Let's play this. Life is Golden by Suede.
The same blood runs through your veins. Same strange way of talking. Same thought
so Suede.
Right?
I mean,
So Brett Anderson is the singer,
yes.
and Richard Oakes is the guitarist, right?
Yeah, and I think that hasn't the main band pretty much, they've all kind of stayed together.
Yeah, I think it's all still the original dudes.
Yeah, they
Well, Bernard Butler, I guess, was very early, and then he was replaced by Richard Oakes.
Oh, okay. Bernard Butler, he's the main guy.
Right.
He was a big deal, but remember he had that really cool solo record. Did you ever get that?
Bernard Butler, no.
It's really
he was
good.
only on the first 2 records.
That sounds like a old vintage Suede.
Right. It definitely sounds like a Britpop anthem from 1998, which makes me love it.
Yeah, no, it's really good. That's cool.
So we wanted to.
Man, I'd like to see them. Have you?
I've never seen Suede.
I've never seen Suede, but I've always been a fan. I love that. What was the record? There's of course the record where it looks like you can't tell if it's 2 boys or 2 girls on the album cover.
The self-titled one, the first one.
Yeah, that one was really good. But then there's the one with the headphones. Probably like 1995.
Head Music.
Yeah, Head Music was great.
That was 99.
That was 99?
Yeah, Suede, the self-titled was 93. Dogman Star was 94.
All right, Dogman Star. We started off. I'll cut this out, but we started off every show with. We walked out to Dogman Star.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was so good. I mean, we probably.
Yeah, so after Dogman Star was coming up, and then Head Music, and that was kind of their heyday. They had a new morning in 2002. Then they kind of broke up until 2013. They had Blood Sports, Night Thoughts in 2016, and the Blue Hour now in 2018.
Yeah, after Head Music, I think I got lost. So it was those 3 records, the 90s records.
Right, yeah. That was...
that makes sense. But that
their
sounds
thing.
like from back then. That could have easily been on that Head Music record.
Yeah.
That's great. Cool.
Yeah, I knew you'd love it. And the video is super cool. I'll probably end up posting it at some point. But it's all like...
Did he get real fat?
No, it doesn't.
Singer, or
it
does
doesn't
he
have
look
the
exactly the same?
It doesn't have the band in it at all. It's
I'm just kidding. Of course, he didn't get real fat. That guy.
Yeah, he's got good genes.
Yeah.
But no, it's the video is all drone footage from Chernobyl.
Of course.
So it's like all of the abandoned buildings and parks and stuff. From the nuclear disaster in Chernobyl in Russia, and just about how the nature has overtaken in the last 30 years.
Yeah. I don't know where to go from there.
No, there's nowhere to go, but it's just a cool video.
Yeah, Lee. You know how evil straws are?
I know, bro. Polluting our oceans.
Man.
All right, so do you want to talk Summer Vacay before we get to your last Vince Clarke tune?
Yeah, because it'll make... my last... I'm going to Erasure.
You have to.
And it's a party tune. So we can do anything from here. It's good times from here on out, Dave.
Yeah, we're good and sauced. Good times from here on out.
So you went to you laked it, and I Gulf of Mexico did.
Yes, you beached it, and I laked it.
Cause I'm beach tea now.
Are you?
Didn't we talk about this before?
No.
Yeah, I'm beach tea.
Is this a new thing?
No.
You've embraced the beach?
No, I swear we've talked about this, Dave.
I don't remember.
We've been doing this for so long. We've probably talked about everything.
I know. We've been doing it for a year.
I know. Have we run out of things?
I think we have.
We obviously haven't.
Play the
because
song.
I seem to cut
Just play the
70
song.
million minutes out of every single episode because we talked too freaking long. So you went to Lake Travis.
Yes, I went to the hill country.
What made you? How'd you pick this spot?
Well, originally the initial plan was to go to Schlitterbahn in New Braunfels. And then researching that and looking at staying on premise or Airbnb nearby, and thinking about the crowds and thinking about the fact that my kid is only 8 and she probably would not be into that many of the attractions.
I'm already going to tell you you made the best decision.
Yes. So I ended up finding kind of a resort on the west side of Lake Travis.
West Side!
And they had, like a couple of different pools and a lazy river. And, there was enough stuff on premise that you could hang out there. But then we also took a day and rented a boat and got out on the lake and stuff. So...
Man, people love a lazy river. So when you rent a boat, there's not a dude, like, you get the boat.
Yeah. Well, I guess in Texas, as long as you're 24 and you have a state driver's license, you can rent a boat.
Oh, for sure. No doubt.
You can rent a boat.
You can rent a boat. You can drive.
I mean, I've driven a handful of boats in my life, so it wasn't like the first time that I've ever been behind the wheel of a boat.
I was not thinking for 1 minute that you haven't driven a boat before.
But it was $100 an hour, 2 hours.
Did you find a friend? Did you tie it?
No, we didn't tie boat to boat, but we did drop anchor by a sandbar and did a little swimming.
Did you cannonball?
No, did not cannonball.
Preacher seat?
No, just kind of slid in.
Can opener?
Slid into the water with my swim diaper. The upside down life vest.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You put your legs through the armholes.
And just kind of
you just kind of float
around.
there.
Just
just kind of scoot. Yeah, it was
I
good.
love that. When's that country song start?
It was great fun.
Just scoot. Just a scooting.
Yeah, so how was the beach?
The beach was good. When we do
You went to Galveston, correct?
We do the same thing every time.
Did you save summer?
We definitely save summer. And, boy. Well, let me get to this first. We go to Galveston every time because, pace is 7. So I have to make sure before we go on the vacay to someplace that we're swimming in the ocean, because the ocean is so awesome.
Right.
That she's going to want to swim in the ocean. If we go to St. Whatever and we just swim in the pool the whole time, it's a wasted trip. Right. Don't you think?
Yeah, you may as well go to Hurricane Harbor.
Exactly. But the last 2 times, the ocean is happening.
Yeah, because kids are weird. They may be scared of the surf, or they may be scared of jellyfish, or whatever's in the water, or whatever's on the floor of the ocean.
Galveston there's not a jellyfish worry, at least where we are. There's no jellyfish thing. So that's never been a problem. But also Galveston, for me and Joanna, is like our Coney Island. When we skipped school in high school, you go to Galveston.
You have those memories.
Yeah, so we know everything about Galveston. We know the Strand. So it's very easy for us. You get in the car in College Station, 2 hours, you're in Galveston.
Right.
So it's not a huge commitment.
Yeah, and I opted for Lake Travis just because, coming from Dallas, it's a comfortable 3.5 hour drive.
Nothing to it.
And I had not been to Austin in a while. Mm-hmm. And we didn't actually go into Austin proper. We kind of we hit the Hula Hut on the way out on Sunday for brunch.
Perfect.
But I had not been to Austin in a long time, and I forgot how much I love it.
It's great.
The hill country is so beautiful. We saw so many deer. Mm-hmm. Just the topography, the trees.
Yeah, you stay away from the city proper. It's
growing like crazy.
Of course it is.
Every piece of land is being developed out there, but there's still plenty of wilderness to explore.
It's awesome.
And it was great. Loved it.
We've done the same thing for enough time. Now we're ready.
You ready to Airbnb it next time, or just go somewhere totally different?
We're ready to go to clearer waters.
Okay.
I think it's time.
All right.
But you have to make sure
Yeah.
before you make that commitment, right?
Yeah.
But also, like I said, it reminds us of when we were kids. So
Right.
I love Galveston.
I
know a
felt
lot
like-
of people hate, like they hate on Galveston, the whole thing. I love it. It's great. And
I've
also,
never been, but I've heard great things from you, and Junior Miller loves it. He grew up down there.
It's great. And I come from a family that's from around Louisiana and Corpus Christi. So we're from around place,
Yeah. You're not snobby about the Texas coast.
I'm not snobby about the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we found a place that we will go back to every year.
I saw the pictures. I want all the info on that. That looked like
Yeah,
it's,
because they have different types of.
Was it a resort?
Yeah, it's a master planned community, and they have like they have resort amenities. They have, like a clubhouse thing, and then they have like a pavilion where they serve dinner at night, so you can stay on premise if you want.
So you rented the boat from the hotel?
No, we had to go. We had to get in the car and go to Lakeway Marina to rent the boat.
Lakeway Marina.
But no, they have different types of accommodations. We stayed in just like one of their cabins. But then they also have like condos and standalone homes, and all. It just depends on how much you want to spend. And there are people that live out there full time.
Sure.
But then there are also a lot of investment properties out there as well.
Did you do any mud catting?
Did not do any mud catting. But we did see, like I said, a good number of deer. And we saw some big old fish.
Did you feed the deer a little corn?
No, but we saw their poop. We saw the deer poop.
Did you pick it up?
No. But it's weird, It's like they poop raisins.
I know. Sons of bitches.
It's like how does a big animal produce poop that looks like that?
Well, they're dainty. Oh, you have a story.
Oh, right. I forgot. I told
cancel everything
I know.
you just said. We're getting straight to this.
Yeah, I told you.
Cut to the new.
I told you before the pod started off the air that I had another Dave vacation fart story.
Because when you vacate, well, let's backtrack. So for the podcast, your cat can go to the bathroom on the toilet. That's great.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, it just does. But I'm just saying we have themes.
Okay.
And people like to see how that's going.
Common threads from episode to episode.
That obviously is going great. Now we're on to the strange fart happening.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so
on vacation,
right.
Not just normal daily life.
So last month I told the story of farting on the train from Paris to London.
It still disturbs me.
And so
I feel so sorry for that woman.
I know. So go back and listen to the go to oldwaver.com and find the July episode of HTWOW and listen to that story.
Do you think you killed her?
I don't know.
I bet
she might have wanted to kill herself. So at this resort in Austin, they have, like I said, a lazy river. Oh. And so there's a point in the lazy river where it kind of splits off into two branches. And so one branch you can just kind of keep going at your leisurely pace. Or if you go to the left, you go past a couple of waterfalls and then through like a little cave or like an overhang where there's like the waterfall that goes across the entire lazy river.
The exciting part of the lazy river.
And so my kid was super excited. We talked about let's go full waterfall, where that meant that you had to go and dunk your head over or under every stream of water.
It's the weekend before school starts. You got to go all out.
So we were going full waterfall every time around. And so, sometimes, you're in the tube on the lazy river, and sometimes...
Did y'all go double tube? You're single tube.
Single tube,
okay.
Yeah. And so sometimes you just have the tube around your armpits. You're just kind of hanging on the tube, and your legs are dangling down. But then sometimes you throw your legs up and you kind of sit in the tube. You know, like you're going down the river, you know?
We probably have a different tube stance.
So you're sitting in the inner tube. Mm-hmm. You know, your bottom is in the donut hole, and your arms and legs are hanging out, right?
Your butt full soak.
Yeah. And so we're going along, and we're about to go full waterfall, and I feel a little gassy. And so...
You feel a little gassy before the waterfall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel a little gassy. And so I decide to just let fly. I'm outside. I'm
in the lazy river.
I'm in the lazy river. I'm not peeing in the lazy river.
No.
It's just a fart.
Yeah, don't pee in the lazy river.
So I fart, and then I'm traveling through the waterfalls.
Did it kind of jet you away a little faster?
No, I'm going at my lazy river pace. Mm-hmm. I go underneath the little bridge or the little cave part.
Sure.
And I come out the other side, and the stench is still lingering.
So the authorities have showed up?
No authorities have shown up.
Oh.
But as I emerge from the other side of the waterfalls...
hold on a second. So your bottom is in the water. So how did the stench get to the outside?
Well, it's in the water, but barely in the water. And you know how when you fart in the pool, it bubbles, and then the bubbles have to come to the surface.
I do not know.
No, bubble, I mean, it's air. It doesn't just dissipate into the water. It has to come to the surface and then release
stinks up the outside?
into the atmosphere.
That's insane.
So
that doesn't make sense.
So I come out from the other side of the waterfall, and I have to abandon ship.
Because of the smell?
Because of the smell. Because I guess...
Did Clara
I
smell
guess
this?
I guess farts are heavier than air. So it bubbled up out of the water, but...
Like a bong?
But it stayed inside the center of the inner tube. It was just hovering there all around my body.
Right.
And so I just had to tump my inner tube.
You in the water.
I had to tump my inner tube over and just swim away from the stench.
Wow.
And so...
Were you in like an overhang of... what do they call those, like at the Playboy Mansion when you're in...
Like a grotto.
Were you in a grotto?
Yeah. There was like a land bridge. I mean, it's all fake rocks, but yes, you go under... like an overhang, so it's like a grotto.
Oh, that's why it stayed. You were at the grotto.
Yeah. Well, but it stayed because it was in the middle of the inner tube.
No, that doesn't make sense. I don't buy the inner
You
tube.
don't believe my theory that farts are heavier than air?
No, that's fine, but I don't believe that it stayed in the circle of the inner tube in the water.
You weren't there.
The lazy river.
You weren't there. So
Jeez, that's like superhuman.
So I abandoned ship. And then behind me are my girlfriend and my daughter.
Oh, Jesus, why does she always get hit with that?
And they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm laughing. I'm like, "Sorry, I had to abandon ship." And I said, I'm trying to speak to just them and not anyone else around. I said, I farted in my inner tube. And my girlfriend says, "Oh my God, that was you?" She was like, "I thought there was like it's sulfur coming out of the waterfall."
She has to start walking in front of you on vacations. That is the most insane thing I've ever heard.
She thought, because it was trapped in the waterfall, she thought that there was like a malfunction in the piping.
Man, she is a keeper.
I know.
She
hates me so much. Oh God.
She should hate you.
Yeah.
But she is definitely a keeper, and she has got to start walking in front of you.
Yeah.
This is
insane. I need to definitely always bring up the rear.
Yeah.
So that's the most recent fart story I wanted to tell you.
Holy crap! Because there is a thing, like people can stink up the outside, but you stunk up the lazy river.
Yeah.
You actually stunk up the lazy river. Oh man, that's good.
So Erasure.
Should we just end it?
No, we need to play Erasure. What are you going to play? Because Vince Clarke went from Depeche Mode to Yaz to Erasure, lightning striking 3 times. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like, it is amazing. A lot of people are in bands.
Right?
They're successful. You don't get in other bands and then... Erasure isn't...
Well, it's not like he was in Depeche Mode for a long time and then had a solo career. He started
just keeps
3
developing
different bands
that were all super successful.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so Erasure starts after Alison Moyet wants to start writing records. I'm totally making all that up. I don't know if that's the reason why he stopped working with her.
So he found a dude that sounded kind of like the chick that he was just working with.
He put out, and this is what I love about things from the 80s, he put out an ad in the Melody Maker.
Right?
Didn't they all do that? Like
Yeah,
anytime? And
that's how a lot of bands started.
That before the internet, awesome people used to just put ads
Yeah,
in the back of
bassist
the Melody
wanted,
Maker and went,
must like
vocalist
The
needed.
Damned.
So this guy, Andy Bell, goes in for this audition, listens to a lot of Alison Moyet, the Communards,
Right?
obviously, and for some reason Susie and the Banshees.
Okay.
And Vince Clarke finds his dude. I played this record so much, it was insane. So I didn't want to. Of course, there's the what's the record after Circus with Chains of Love and everything. That's when everybody knows
gosh.
Erasure is the big one.
Right.
Uh,
The Innocence was 88, and The Innocence was the one that had Chains of Love and Ship of Fools.
okay, yeah. So, Innocence was the huge one.
Yes.
But Circus is the one that set them off.
Yeah.
And Wonderland had 2 songs, which I'll get to in a minute, that I went back to.
Right.
Broke my heart, now I'll make it for you. The live version of that on 2 Ring Circus, I got into that first record because of the circus. But here is a song, Victim of Love. Do you know that song?
I'm sure I will once you play it.
Victim of Love, Erasure, HTWOW. It goes just like this.
I'm building a wall. Every day it's getting
Does that one bring back any memories for you?
Yeah.
That was boy, that was a big high school jam for us.
Yeah, like I said, at the time, I was opposed to Erasure because it crossed that line. It was too bubblegum. It was too many girls liked it. I couldn't justify it in my mind.
Yeah, I loved it. But I also I hit a moment. I think it might have been the Wild tour. And because I don't mind I love the gaiety. I love the, be as crazy as you can. But I remember the spectacle that was happening on stage. I remember thinking, this might be too much.
And the spectacle continues to this day because a friend of ours just saw him in Chicago, and they're still doing an amazing,
of course, it's
stage
great.
show with backup dancers and backup singers and lights and lasers and
there's no way
costume changes.
Of course, I don't mind it, but at the beginning, it was pretty simple. It was just Andy Bell and Vince, and there were some backup singers, and then it got a little bit too
like Broadway.
I think there was a point in the show of the last Erasure show that I saw that, looking at even Vince Clarke up there, that he was looking around going, oh my God. Because they go grab, I remember Andy Bell going to grab him at the end, and they were going to do the Vince Clarke, bring him to the front of the stage one time, because he's hidden most of the time.
Right, he's amongst a bank of keyboards.
Yeah, so bringing him to the front of the stage, and the look on his face was just like, oh my God. This is insane. And it was a lot of leotards, a lot of pink tutus, and a lot of high kicks. And I thought, Martin Gore in full leather underwear is one thing. But this might be too much. But
even for Toby.
But even to this day, I love Erasure. There's nothing I can say
Yeah,
about
I've come around. I saw them a couple years ago at House of Blues, and it was great. And I've purchased the Circus and I think one other one on vinyl. And there is definitely a place for it in my life, but it's down there in the pecking order. I can appreciate it now. My teenage masculinity is not as prevalent now. I can accept things that maybe I was afraid to accept one time in my life. But they've been putting out stuff pretty consistently since '86.
Yeah,
and they have, by my count, 18 full-length records.
Yeah, and I think he had some health problems for a bit. Andy did, the singer.
Right.
But they're back at it. They still do things all the time. And of course, Vince still does things. He had that, Vince had a cabin, I think they called it The Cabin in Maine, his studio, where he would mix things for people or whatever, produce stuff. And then he moved back to Brooklyn, but I think kept his place in Maine. But he has a place in Brooklyn where he has all of his synths, and I think that's where him and Martin Gore, they finished that record they did.
The VCMG thing.
Yeah, which was pretty, like we were saying before, it's pretty good, but you have to be
in the mood. It's good house cleaning music.
Yeah, you have to be real synthy people to get into that. I was really hoping when they did that Martin was going to, and Vince, they were going to write some pop songs and Martin was going to sing them and it was going to be a record, but it ended up just being an instrumental thing.
Right.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping for more out of that. And we're still hoping for the original Depeche Mode lineup.
Yeah, I don't know that will ever happen.
It's not like a Smiths thing, though.
We can keep wishing.
I mean, they all obviously get along.
Yeah,
it's not like I don't think that's
maybe
too
a one-off.
far-fetched.
Maybe at some point. By the way, just one more time, Cheers.
Cheers on the beer, right? We did it.
HTWOW Yacht Rock Saison.
Yacht Rock Saison. It actually worked. And we're not sick so far.
Oh, God.
I want another.
And happy 1 year anniversary.
Happy 1 year anniversary.
I think we had a good show today. We've had a good year. Thank you to those of you again who've made it to the end of an episode. Who knows how long this one will end up being after Toby cuts out a bunch of our mindless yammering.
Yeah, they always end up being about 2 hours, if that's okay.
It's not an optimal podcast time, but you know, you can break it up into bite-sized chunks on your own time.
If you're on a long drive,
sure, yeah. If you have to drive to Lake Travis or Galveston, punch us up. Punch us up, bro.
Punch us up.
All right, let's get out of here with a little bit more. Just can't get enough.
All right, I don't know where this is gonna start, but let's just do it, right?
Yeah, just see what happens.
All right, now, hold on. Let me cut the bed. Let me cut the sweet bed. Boom.
It's getting hotter, it's a burning love, and I just can't seem to get enough.
We need a breakdown. Break it down.
Album version's so weird.
They're about to bring it back in. It'll be sensitive at the start. Did David leave the studio?
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
He's back.
Just like a rainbow, you know you set me free. And I just can't get enough. And I just can't get enough. You're like an angel and you give me your love. And I just can't seem to get enough.
Thank you for making it through another episode. If you've made it this far, you know you're special. Here's to another year of HTWOW and another successful homebrew. We'll talk to you next month. Episode 15 coming your way in September.
It is.
Light deliver us from evil.
Can't go on. You hear me?
Light deliver us from evil.
Which one is it? I think
Light deliver us from evil.
I think I see it. Fall.